pastor told Jessica he fools around with other women because he's sick and needs help. Mary convinced Jody to move back home, and that way he could get help with the baby. Danny met a girl named Polly at the cemetery who might help him get over Elaine. And Bert, who has trouble sleeping, went to the doctor for a physical, hoping that might help. Confused? You won't be after this episode of Soap.
Soap, the primetime program making fun of the soap operas. Oh, boy. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. What is it, soap operas because they were sponsored by the detergent companies? Is that the trick? That's why they're... I kind of like the novella thing, the Latino name better. Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon. Okay, I admit I was probably 15 or 16 years old and used to watch a few episodes of General Hospital one summer. Did that for about a month and then realized, what the hell am I doing? I'm a 15-year-old kid. It's 2 p.m. I'm watching General Hospital. I need some help. Football, soccer, tennis, golf, whatever, baseball, basketball, shooting fireworks, climbing trees, that kind of stuff. Thank goodness. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, Corey Johnson with you. You are on the neutral ground. Pretty nice weather day. Same thing. Boy, the mornings are great. Evenings and mornings are great. I ate outside at Fausto's Italian Bistro. Got there about 7:45. It was comfortable. Wasn't, oh boy, should I go inside or not? Totally comfortable. Was not perspiring, was not sweating. What even that? Wasn't cold. Just perfect, like I was inside, like it was felt like 72 degrees kind of thing. No, I dined outside, white tablecloth dining at Fausto's last night. This morning, outside with Tolly, my dog. Just wonderful weather. Great weather, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30 this morning. Really nice weather. Not cool, but not hot and humid. Just really comfortable, like air conditioning outside. Pretty nice. Yeah, enjoy the evening weather. You can throw down coals tonight, light up the gas, get outside, do some grilling. I did that the other night. You can get some stuff done early in the morning and enjoy the morning. The weather's nice. And, you know, mid-morning, lunchtime, right now, afternoon's not bad. I did not check the exact number, but my guesstimation would be about 83 degrees right now, if I had to guess. Feels like that at least. I think pretty low humidity. 83 degrees, kaboom goes the dynamite. 57% humidity, feels like 85. Pretty darn close. Yeah, not too bad out there. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up. It'll be like 68, 69, creep back up to 80-ish. Got that for like the next week and a half. Not that much rain in the forecast, even though we haven't had that like blistering heat that we had 6 weeks ago for like a month straight. It is still drought-like conditions. Just because you're not sweating doesn't mean it's not drought-like conditions. A very low rainfall. I ended up putting the sprinkler on some azalea bushes I have because they were kind of wilting. I'm glad I did. I didn't look at them and saw that they were wilting. I was like, you know what I'm telling you? I'm like, hadn't rained in really a few weeks. I know it's not hot where it's drying out these plants, but my God, they got to be thirsty. They were parched. Going to hit them again. Because there's no rain on the forecast, which is good for us, but bad for folks that need the water, and we could all use the water. From farming to golf courses to whatever. A lot going on. Multiple crashes on I-55 yesterday morning, left 7 dead. More than 25 injured. Exactly as we were predicting yesterday. Just logical conclusions based off of the little bit of facts that we have. And I'm not some crash expert or, what kind of heat interstate structures can take, but just some simple deductive reasoning. The video and photos, like we said yesterday, of that crash site, which many of us have now seen, it was like 3 or 4 of those big sections of roadway where you had vehicles rail to rail, about 25, including at least one 18-wheeler, all just burned up. Just, there's no tow truck. I was like, you get an 18-wheeler flatbed, you get a crane, and you're picking these things up and stacking them on top of each other and strapping them down. And that is exactly what they did. It wasn't an easy cleanup. I said the I-55, if you're expecting it to be open tomorrow, I don't think that's a good chance. They're not going to have the roadway clear yesterday, I was saying, by tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be open tomorrow, if you ask me. Because they have to totally remove all of those wrecked, burned out vehicles, and then all of the debris swept clean. It's an interstate. You can't have shards of metal, glass, plastic flying up in the air when the road reopens. So a thorough cleaning. The road is black from the fire. It's going to need to be, power washed to the nth degree. And then after all of that, you're going to have structural engineers come in to test the concrete, the rebarb, the I-beams, the steel girder construction. Is it compromised? Has the integrity of the structure been compromised? If so, I mentioned that Pearl River Bridge at the state line yesterday. Where you had that fire at the foot of the bridge on the Mississippi side, where it was down to one lane. And that was like 3 weeks for them to fix that one little section where a vehicle or two burned. It's like a cavity or a skin cancer. You've got to take out the part that's obviously screwed up. Then you've got to take out margins around it to get to, good tooth. If it's a cavity, good skin. If it's skin cancer, good rebarb, concrete, steel. If it's a bridge, then you go in and put in new stuff and replace, repair. So we don't know what the engineers are going to say about the bridge structure. Oh my gosh, it's been compromised. The concrete isn't strong enough anymore. The rebarb heated up. The steel girder got too hot, whatever. This bridge isn't up to standards. What does that entail as far as, are you replacing whole sections? Are you replacing just parts? That bridge was out for a good 3 weeks, and that's Mississippi getting the work done. This is a much larger area, over water, not on land, elevated, not at the foot of the bridge, elevated. I would think it's going to be a little bit more of a task. Hopefully, there is no structural damage, and the bridge will fully reopen. And that would be, I think, best case scenario at the end of the week, Thursday, Friday at best. Best. I-55 remains closed from Ruddock exit to Ponchatoula. But I-55 is open off the I-10 in both directions. If you're going southbound, you're coming from Ponchatoula, you take ground level, US 51 on the ground to Ruddock. Then you enter that entrance ramp on I-55 and you take I-55 in the rest of the way. If you're coming into Ponchatoula from Laplace on I-55, you take I-55 to the Ruddock exit. And then you take ground level US 51 into Ponchatoula. So from Ruddock to Ponchatoula, I-55 is shut down. From Ruddock to Laplace to I-10, I-55 is open in both directions. You continue the route from Ruddock to Ponchatoula, or get from Ponchatoula to Ruddock, via the ground level US 51. We'll keep you updated on that. A lot going on. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday, 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. Had a roast beef po' boy the other day. It was excellent. New Orleans roast beef po' boy, excellent. Had to be on Leidenheimer French bread. As simple as that. It wouldn't be excellent if it wasn't on New Orleans po' boy bread. Leidenheimer French bread from Leidenheimer Baking Company. They've only been at it since 1896, still baking that French bread you love, like me enjoying it on a po' boy just the other day. Still doing it in New Orleans, Leidenheimer Baking Company.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Boy, if you're in or around Mandeville at lunchtime and you're thinking fast food, that type of thing for lunch, don't. Trey Yen, Tuesday through Friday, has some of the best lunch specials anywhere in the United States of America. It's unbelievable. I'm not kidding when I say that. I don't know how anyone can compete. Literally, fast food prices for not Chinese food, like that would be an improvement. Your average Chinese food almost from anywhere would be better than most fast food. This is gourmet Chinese cuisine. This is Trey Yen. They've got about 20 different lunch specials to choose from. You get a little combination shrimp and pork fried rice, and then you get the entree on the side. Comes in a white to-go container if you're getting it to go, and it's a hefty, heavy container. When you get it on the plate at the restaurant, it's almost spilling off the plate. It's a lot of food for lunch. They're all under $10. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. If I owned Trey Yen, they'd all be $14.95, and I'd say best lunch deal around, and it would be, and it's under $10. I mean, if you're an office manager on the North Shore at Chevron or wherever, you got to feed 10, 50, 200, under $10 each. Pull your van or SUV right up to the front door at Trey Yen. They'll load it all up for you. They'll take care of your lunch crew. No, feed 20 people for a couple of $100. Feed 50 people for $500. That's crazy. And it's gourmet Chinese. It's Trey Yen, Tuesday through Friday. Lunch specials at Trey Yen in Mandeville. Don't forget dinner. Even bigger and better. Yummy. You won't be disappointed. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Worth the drive, you South Shore folks. Literally. That's not a radio line. Worth the drive from anywhere. I-55, a little precarious. Coming from Ponchatoula, you'll take ground level US 51 to Ruddock, then get on the I-55, that entrance ramp, going towards LaPlace, going towards the I-10. Going towards Ponchatoula, regular I-10 to I-55, but forced to exit at Ruddock and then get down on the ground level US 51 to Ponchatoula, back to I-55 at that point. So basically, I-55 is not open in between Ponchatoula and Ruddock, but the parallel ground level US 51 is, and you will take that to bridge that gap, as it were. As far as when will I-55 be reopened, like I said yesterday, I can't imagine. I mean, best case scenario, if there's no structural damage, they can get it figured out quickly, get the bridge cleared of vehicles and debris, burned out hulks of metal on the bridge. It's going to be a couple of days. Like I would say Thursday would be just incredible. And I'm kind of weary that all that fire and mess, I mean, the roadway is just charred. And they're charred metal pieces of car all over it, which they've been clearing. I'm hoping there's no structural damage to the bridge, but there could be structural damage. That the car or two that burned at the foot of the Pearl River Bridge in Mississippi, barely on the bridge, it messed up the concrete, the structure of the bridge. They had to close down that lane. It took like 3 weeks to repair it. And that's Mississippi. They're probably more efficient than Louisiana. And this is, 15, 20 times more space. So, yeah, let's hope it's just a overbuilt Mac Daddy construction, could take the heat. It's going to be fine. Power wash it and keep on going. I mean, that I-55, the I-10 from Kenner to LaPlace, those are like 1970 era, and they are brick you-know-what house. They are overbuilt. They're not like the Causeway. They're more like a modern version of that US 11 bridge from the 30s that totally withstood Katrina. They're just monsters. They're heavy duty. There's no ka-clunk on them. There's no compromising of concrete potholes, railings falling off. They were very, very, very well built. Maybe because that was some of the first interstate over that type of terrain, and the U.S. government wanted to get it right. Maybe when we did things more correctly in first class back in the 50s, 60s, this would be late 60s, 70s. So hopefully that structure is fine. Republicans 0-4-3 now on the Hill. Tom Emmers nominated, then drops out for Speaker of the House. Crazy. It's funny. I mean, I guess some Republicans have sort of a point when they're like, we're not getting any Democrats helping, so it's every Democrat, and then these few Republicans are kind of lumping it all together. But it's sort of just the few Republicans, right? They have the majority. It's the, what do they call them? The crazy eight. What a great line, huh? The crazy eight. You got the squad on the left. You got the crazy eight on the right. The crazy eight is crazy. It really is. You got crazy eight member wannabes like Carrie Lake that aren't even elected. Want to be in that club. Saints wide receiver Chris Olave, arrested, reckless operation. Wasn't drunk or intoxicated, but was doubling the speed limit on Joe Yenny. It says 35. I'll do 70, by golly. 70 and a 35. He said to the Kenner policeman, I play for the Saints. And the Kenner cop said, and like, A, what is that supposed to mean? B, you guys are 1-4 in your last 5. I should arrest you for that. C, you got tickets for the next game for me? D, why were you only doing 70? Oh, boy. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, I do have some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 5 area locations of the Woodhouse Day Spa. New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Slidell, Mandeville, Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. The Woodhouse Day Spa, the city's premier day spa experience. Got a couple of holdover questions from last week. Tallest building in the city. We got the answer to that one. One Shell Square. I cut the caller some slack, as I often do. That was the original name of the building for like the first 47 years of its 50-year existence. It is the tallest building in the city, like 596 feet, something like that. Have a second question. The answer might be the exact same answer. And yes, if you said One Shell Square, if that were the answer, Hancock Whitney, I'd give you the $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. If it's the same answer, it might be. New Orleans building with the most floors, the most stories. Might be One Shell Square. Hancock Whitney at 51. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. Hey, no cheating. If you don't know the answer, you don't know it. No search engines. Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Bing, none of that. No internet device. You either know the answer or you don't. And if you don't, try again next time. The New Orleans building with the most floors, most stories. 504 Golf. Looks like it's a go. I drove by there. There's actually some heavy equipment moving around stuff. Maybe they're starting construction of that facility. A multi-level driving range, old-time Picayune building site, right on the Pontchartrain Expressway at Broad. Could revitalize, help jumpstart that neighborhood by the Bridge House, by those terrible stoplights on Earhart, by the Broad Street exit. My God, those are terrible. The worst. None of that's needed. Get rid of them all. What a waste of money. Move them somewhere where they're needed. Anyway, yeah, that area. The 504 Golf looks like a go. Top Golf looks like it's a go. Down by the River District, the new neighborhood by the Convention Center, the Crescent City connection on the river. 2 multi-level driving ranges like Top Golf in Baton Rouge. 3 levels. They're building a Top Golf as we speak, under construction in Lafayette, Cajun country. Yeah, you right. I'm wondering which one's going to open first, 504 Golf, the local owners, or Top Golf, the chain owners. 504 Golf, I think, is going to be more localized. Top Golf, I think, is going to be more locals and tourists, a lot more tourists where it's located. Either way, I wonder which one opens first. Will that be the first multi-level driving range in New Orleans? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a pretty nice Tuesday afternoon. The evenings have been nice. Mornings have been wonderful. Get outside and enjoy that weather. It really is nice. Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line. Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. Looking for a New Orleans high-rise building with the most floors, the most stories. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 504 Golf appears to be a go. It's a multi-level driving range right on the Pontchartrain Expressway at Broad by the Old Times Picayune building or at the Old Times Picayune building site. Top Golf by the River District neighborhood, the new neighborhood on the river by the Mississippi River Bridge, by the Convention Center appears to be a go. One of them will open first. Multi-level driving range, like 3 levels, like Top Golf in Baton Rouge, right on the I-10. Lafayette's getting a Top Golf. If 504 Golf opens first or Top Golf opens first, would whichever one opens first be New Orleans' first multi-level driving range? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. If you got answers, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations of the Woodhouse Day Spa. A lot going on. I'm laughing because Jason and I during the break were talking about traffic lights that simply are not needed, like the one by the 504 Golf. What is that? The Broad Street exit at Earhart. Earhart exit off the Broad Street overpass over the I-10. At the bottom of that ramp, they have a light. They have a light to the left of that ramp on Earhart. Then there's another light at the street that would take you to like the coat factory to the right and bridge houses to the left if you're coming from downtown. Just all those lights are just totally unnecessary. I had no problem going down that ramp. Never saw anybody having a problem crossing from like the coat factory to the bridge house. Absolutely insane. Just absolutely no reason at all. And someone did that. Someone did that. Hell, I'm driving on US 90 on the West Bank, where you either go towards West Bank Expressway or you go towards that little Huey Long Era bridge that eventually takes you to the UEP Long Bridge that goes over US 90. So you're either merging onto US 90 to head towards, Algiers, or you continue straight to go to the UEP Long Bridge. It goes from 2 lanes to 1 lane for about 400 yards. So people entering from 90 have a longer thing to accelerate on. Like, were there major accidents? How about building out the shoulder as the merge lane? Cutting down the 2-lane road to 1 lane? I mean, it's mind-blowing. Who comes up with this stuff? Just crazy. But not meaning to get off track. Not needed stoplights that aren't needed in New Orleans. Earhart and Broad Street's a big one. But I'll tell you, Metaire's not immune. Lake Avenue. I mean, Lake Avenue at Vets, I get it. It's Veterans Boulevard. Hell, I'm thinking there's barely a light at Lake Avenue and Vets, just sort of the little to turn. But you can turn when it's red, I believe. So really, even Lake Avenue at Vets doesn't have a light. But Lake Avenue at West Esplanade has a light that 110% is not needed in the least bit. I mean, it's just an accident haven. Lake Avenue at West Esplanade. And then Lake Avenue at Old Hammond Highway. Another light that is absolutely not needed. By the way, all of those lights are extremely painful. I'm sitting here alone. There's no one coming in either direction. I'm by myself alone. Just makes no sense at all. Me no comprende. I don't get it. I do get it, Baton Rouge. When it's time to paint in Baton Rouge, Tiger Town, Red Stick, Capital City. Want to paint Red Stick red? Helm, Paint, and Decorating. Yeah, I said Baton Rouge. Those 3 Harrison paint locations redone, getting expanded as we speak. New everything. They're now Helm, Paint, and Decorating locations. Helm, Paint, and Decorating, 4 locations in Metro Baton Rouge. 4 Helm, Paint, and Decorating locations in Metro Baton Rouge. To go with the 7 in Metro New Orleans, including the North Shore. Try now. Well, no, don't. Oh, boy. Hey, OT, we're going to try you on from the studio line right now. So I'm going to hang up and we're going to call you back. That was Oliver Thomas mistakenly calling me. Trying to hook up with the councilman. Helm, Paint, and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They truly will steer you in the right direction. Helm, Paint, and Decorating. Baton Rouge folks, they've been doing it in New Orleans for over 50 years. That's where you'll be going. Helm, Paint, and Decorating. Oliver Thomas joins us, New Orleans City Councilman. Oliver, how are you?
Man, KJ, if I was any better, I'd be you, man.
Let's not get carried away now.
Yeah, I know. I know I may never reach those heights, man, but at least I know there's someone that sets them up.
You don't need the trouble with the ladies that I have. And I said ladies plural, Oliver.
Well, I'm married. I mean married. I get them confused. I'm married. So.
Oh, boy.
My wife wasn't listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I hope that, you know, special someone out there isn't going, what? Corey's saying ladies plural. What?
Hey, well, Corey, they're just happy to be in the mix, man. You know, there's a shortage of men. So.
That's what I tell them. I say, it's my world. You're just a mere participant in it, but they don't really like that line too much.
Yeah. Hey, but, you know, as long as they're being treated well.
Yeah, I tried to. But, you know, the ladies, it's a mystery. Maybe that's why I'm once divorced, but I'm willing to try again, Oliver.
Yeah. Let me say this. You know, we're having fun, but family is the institution that stabilized this country, and I think ultimately will save this country.
Yep.
When Dan Quayle talked about family values, maybe he wasn't the biggest or best voice, but he was actually talking about the foundation of American civilization.
Yep.
And I tell folk all the time, we're talking about every alphabet but F for family. And until we get back to talking about family, especially given the fact that so many kids are growing up without parents or without a responsible family, we're going to continue to have the problems we have. And I believe that.
No, and coupled with these young kids, I mean, because they're young, they don't covet or understand or appreciate tradition. And family is like a big tradition. So, I mean, if I was a kid and you said you want to eat something nutritious or candy, I'm eating candy. Want to go to school or go play? I'm going to go play. You need adults to steer them. You need family, and you need the village concept. Ideally, hopefully grandparents are around and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and neighbors that are like family. That's how you really raise kids.
Well, I hope we get back to that before we're forced to get back to it to survive. That's my prayer.
All right, Oliver, this is kind of half kidding, half serious. We're picking the Jimmy Ott Center in Gretna as a neutral site. It's no holds barred. It's a cage match. Oliver Thomas, JP Morrell, 7 p.m. Friday.
Yeah, all proceeds go to NORD or the abused kids. Hey, man. Hey, man, it happens. You've had some pretty hefty debates over time with callers and people in your life, and you kind of move forward. You move on.
I never pulled the Mike Ditka. I'll meet you on a corner, buddy, and we'll fight it out. You guys are getting a little upset at each other.
But there were some things that were kind of misrepresented, right? And people who read or listened to the comments said, I never said meet me outside. That you can listen to the tape over and over and over again. Never said that. It never came out of my mouth. Never came out of his mouth. But hey, it is what it is. It got a little testy, man. That happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes, You look. You do that, then you move forward. You move on. I've moved on.
The wonderful audio technology at New Orleans City Hall, it wouldn't allow us to hear, like when both of you were talking at the same time. It basically shut down the mic. Only when one of you were talking could it be understood. So, yeah, there was some stuff that we couldn't hear or understand.
Yeah, but nobody ever asked anyone to go. And of course, I had some media people that said, I asked them to go outside. That didn't happen. I mean, those words were never used. Yeah, of course, it was testy. It was, testosterone kind of stuff. And maybe, I'm never happy when I feel I have to defend myself or getting to a point where you feel you're being disrespected or disrespecting somebody else. I wasn't thrilled about that. So, it is what it is. You move on. Hopefully, we'll be able to work together on a lot of the stuff that still plagues the city. I know we're gonna need the effort.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. Oliver, I'm going to knock out a quick break. When we come back, I want to finish up with this, and also that summit that you proposed between the mayor, her staff, and the council. Oliver Thomas is with us. Corey Johnson on the neutral ground till 6.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
I ate outside, white tablecloth dining at Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets last night, just a few blocks in from the Orleans Parish line, conveniently located for a lot of folks. Fausto's Italian Bistro, some of the best Sicilian and Italian. They open their doors in 8 minutes. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Oliver Thomas is with us. Oliver, what started the back and forth between you and JP Morrell? Was it the Ann Kirkpatrick confirmation? You were under the impression that the process was ongoing and the rest of the council was like, let's vote on this?
Well, yeah, I was, well, what I thought was that it was part of a confirmation process. We hadn't got to the point where you vote up or down, and there was this kind of talking about who would have what positions, and so I was just a little taken back by that, and I said, hold on a second. I said, hey, look, we're not finished yet. Chief Kirkpatrick may not be confirmed. We may have to start from square one. There may be something else that would happen, and of course, the comment was made that, this isn't any conspiracy, this or that, and so I asked for a point of personal privilege, and when I asked, which is about Robert's Rules of Order, I have the right to ask for a point of personal privilege. Now, if the body determines that they don't want to grant me one, then I think the body can vote to do that. But you can't arbitrarily say a person can't request. And I was told that it wouldn't be granted. So, I got a little upset there, and I proceeded to try to make my point then. And then I was told I was out of order, and my comment was, "You haven't seen out of order yet." So,
now, what do you think? You said that got JP Morrell to say, I wasn't raised that way.
No. Well, a comment was made about, I think was said that, hey, look, you picked the right one today. And so his comment was, oh, okay, let's have that. And I said, well, right now, in terms of the debate, let's have the debate, but don't give me an opportunity to talk about it. And I had a stern look on my face, but there was never ever a mention of asking someone to step outside. That didn't happen.
Maybe let's have at it was let's go outside, maybe was the interpretation. Okay. I got it.
That comment wasn't made. I'm a big boy. I know what I'm right. I know what I'm wrong, but also I know the rules of order and how bodies of government. I govern. I've been on a few. So, but hey, man, at the end of there, I was over it the evening after it happened, and time to move on.
Hey, Oliver, you voted against the Pontalba going back on the market, at least the mayor not being able to use it. You voted against ousting Gregory Joseph. You voted against the new NOPD chief.
I actually voted for Mr. Joseph. He didn't show up. That was a 7-0 vote.
Oh, that was the 7-0 vote. Okay, what was something else that you voted against maybe that week?
Yeah, you see, that's what happens, though.
No, there's something else you missed that you didn't vote for.
Yeah, but you didn't say there's something else. You said that.
No, I did. So I apologize. I'm mistaken for the Gregory Joseph. Maybe it was what was there some other where you were contrary to the rest of the, and it was more on the mayor's side.
It might have been pizza for lunch.
No, it wasn't pizza for lunch. It was something
Green.
Yes, Eugene Green. Exactly. Yep.
I don't know, but
it was controversial.
We did a running tally, right? when you talk about votes, right?
Well, sadly, yeah.
And the running tally is the council has voted together 98-point-something% of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So and I think each of us have a right to have a difference of opinion. I think that was the beauty of you remember Peggy Wilson, right?
Oh yeah.
In terms of standing alone, Woody Koppel on the school board. You remember those debates with and issues with Jim Singleton and Joe Geruso, the former police chief, and voting against the 2. You remember the 5 versus 2?
Yep.
With Dutch. But the difference was then it never stopped everybody from working together on housing, on crime, on a lot of those hot button issues. You may remember when the year I first got elected, when that council held up former Mayor Mark Morial's entire budget, and the mayor flooded city council chamber with 300 business people and employees, man, who threatened that they weren't going to get paid because the council held up the budget. Well, guess what happened? Everybody got behind closed doors. People like Bob Tucker and Ken Carter convened meetings with Jim and Mark and myself and Troy and Susie and others, and everybody reached a consensus. You may remember some of those old council retreats in the past where folks went on retreat to develop a common agenda. So this is a different time we're in, Corey. It's a different time at the national level.
Yep.
It's a different time in state houses, and it seems to be a different time locally. I'm never so mad or upset with my colleagues that I can't work with them, or I don't give them an opportunity to prove that I may be wrong, and me opportunity to prove that I may be right on behalf of the community. And yeah, there's sometimes I may be wrong, but history and the issue has to prove that out, not the fact that we've dug in where we don't have the ability to talk about it or work together.
You kind of answer my last question, literally about 15 seconds. You think this summit's going to be a go?
I would hope so. If nothing else, everybody in the city agrees with it, that it's needed.
Yep. No, that is so true. Who could disagree with that? The council and the mayor and their administration for a few days in conference room. No one can leave. Everybody together. No, I think that's very needed, where not just going through the motions one morning and winking and saying hello and avoiding each other, actually engaging with each other.
I will say this, that Council President Morrell does have our council staff working on the logistics.
Good.
And how we would pull it off. So
nice.
Hopefully what happens between him and I doesn't stop that, but he had given the staff instructions.
No, I like hearing that. Oliver,
You're on the
thank
Neutral
you.
Ground with
Thanks
Corey
so
Johnson
much.
on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Help paint, let us steer you right. Help paint and supply.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Selleck. Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Take out extra money, pay down some bills, go on a vacation, head out to the chef or airline, pick up hookers, get drugs. A reverse mortgage can do so much for you. I'm Tom Selleck from Magnum PI and 3 Men and a Baby and some other stuff. That baseball movie where I went to Japan. Reverse mortgage. All right. Tom Selleck, I guarantee you, has multiple homes. Probably one in Hawaii still, wouldn't you think? And I don't think he has a reverse mortgage on any of them. But he does use Car Shield on all his vehicles, like Ice-T. Car Shield. Oh, boy. We're 0 for 2. No reverse mortgages, no Car Shield, by golly. Car Shield's got like a half dozen competitors now. It's crazy. I saw Vivica Fox pushing one the other night. The actor Vivica Fox. She was pushing some automotive insurance plan, scam, whatever. I say take the money they want to charge you, stick it in a shoebox and put it aside. Be disciplined. That's easy. Oh, boy. Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour on this Tuesday afternoon brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. Lamarck Ford, the big store. Lamarck Lincoln. You know, Lamarck Lincoln already the number one Lincoln dealership in the state. I went out to the pad on a Sunday when Lamarck Lincoln was closed, and I checked out those Lamarck Lincoln SUVs like the Nautilus, the Aviator, the Corsair, the Navigator, the Black Label editions. Wow. More luxurious and nice than my den at home. Lincoln vehicles. These SUVs are incredible, and they're unique. They don't look like everybody else's. And boy, plush and luxurious and nice. The Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. That's right. Lamarck Crescent City Ford. The legendary Ford truck dealership and commercial truck dealership. Now under the Lamarck umbrella. 5 o'clock power hour. On this Tuesday afternoon, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Multiple crashes on I-55 yesterday morning left 7 dead. 7. More than 25 injured. 158 vehicles involved. 158. 25 different crashes in 3 different spots. I mean, there's like one crash you can see kind of before everything else. A car stopped, another car just up against its rear bumper, and all the airbags in both cars going off. But the cars didn't catch on fire. They're away from all the real problems, but they had an accident like 100 yards before the major problem. So, yeah, 25 different crashes in 3 different spots. 3 18-wheelers involved. 2 of them on fire. I-55 remains closed from the Rudock exit to Ponchatoula in both directions. But I-55 is essentially open, except the Rudock to Ponchatoula gap, you have to go down onto US 51 and take that and get back on I-55. If you're going from Ponchatoula to Laplace, Ponchatoula down I-55 to I-10 going south, you would immediately exit onto US 51 and take that to the Rudock entrance. So you will, before you get on I-55 over the water at Ponchatoula, you will exit and get on US 51, forced to exit, taking the road that parallels I-55, just down on the ground level US 51 to Rudock, and then you will get on the I-55 entrance ramp. And from Rudock on in, you'll be on the interstate, I-55 to Laplace to I-10. Going from Laplace or I-10 to Ponchatoula, going north on I-55, you'll go I-10 north on I-55. But you will be forced to exit at Rudock, where you'll be then pushed down to the ground level US 51, and you'll take that to Ponchatoula. So I-55 closed in between Rudock and Ponchatoula, but traffic diverted to the ground level US 51 that parallels I-55. It's just down on the ground. So I'm guessing, I really don't know what the traffic problems, as far as entering and exiting the I-55 are. But with really no traffic, like nighttime, I would imagine it's going to put you about 5 to 7 minutes, maybe a little longer out of your way. During the day with traffic, it could be a little longer, but I'm thinking kind of minor delays. I don't foresee it being miles and miles of delays. I could be wrong. Anyone out there on I-55, north or southbound, tuning us in right now? Give us an update on what's going on. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480, 504-766-9480. That 504 Golf Driving Range, multi-level by the Pontchartrain Expressway, the Old Times Picayune building site, it appears to be a go. There's movement on the ground. The Top Golf, a multi-level driving range competitor, appears to be a go down by the river, by the Mississippi River Bridge. One of those is going to open before the other. One of them will be first. 3 levels, like the Top Golf in Baton Rouge, Top Golf building in Lafayette. Will the 504 Golf or Top Golf, whichever one opens first in New Orleans, will that be the first multi-level driving range in the city? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. New Orleans' tallest building. We got an answer, One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney. Is it also the building with the most floors, the most stories? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines to dial us up to participate in the program, 766-9480. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations to take care of you. Find out more about the Woodhouse online, woodhousespas.com. You can book your own appointment online at one of the 5 area locations, woodhousespas.com. Total wins the last 2 seasons in college football. Most wins over the last 2 seasons. Georgia, 22. Michigan, 21. Third in all of college football. Total wins the last 2 seasons. Tulane with 18. The Wave is 18-3. They're going to win 20 games soon in the next couple of weeks. It'll be 20 games over the last 2 seasons. First time they've done that in their history. Willie Fritz and the Green Wave. Making waves. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Saints wide receiver Chris Olave arrested. Reckless operation in Kenner. Brad went to the Kenner jail. Doubling up on Joe Yenny Boulevard, doing 70 in that 35. He told the Kenner cop, I play for the Saints. And the Kenner cop said, and? Like what's that supposed to mean? I love it. Republicans on the Hill, 0 for 3. I guess liberal Democrats are loving this. Tom Emmer's the latest, gets nominated and then drops out. Thanks for the nomination. I don't have the votes. Thank you. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Oliver Thomas joining us. Talking about it wasn't a fisticuffs, but JP Morrell and Oliver Thomas going at it the other day at the council meeting. Hey, Latrim, a culture of innovation continues to grow all around the world. Their local facilities in Elmwood on the North Shore off I-12, they are hiring. That means East Bankers, West Bankers, North Shore folks. Latrim's got a job for you, a career for you. Go to Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? And he said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. when you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. You know, buying power means something. You're buying in bulk, you're buying mass quantities, you usually get a better deal. You can pass that on to consumers. Rouse's Markets, best quality, best price, best selection. Over 60 years, over 60 Rouse's. You know, when it comes to Mardi Gras season and king cakes, no one bakes and sells more king cakes in the world than Rouse's Markets. Number one. When it comes to crawfish, boiling crawfish, crawfish live by the sack, either one, no one sells more than Rouse's Market year in, year out in the world. In the world, one entity. King cakes, number one. Boiled crawfish, live by the sack crawfish, Rouse's, number one. When it comes to beer, wine, alcohol sales, no one in the region touches Rouse's Markets. Number one. Have you seen the wine, liquor, beer selection at your Rouse's Markets and the prices? No, quality, selection, price. Tastes like home, Rouse's Market. When it comes to beer, wine, liquor, Rouse's Markets. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spot can be yours. 504 Golf, Top Golf. One of these, they're both a green light. They're both a go. One of them's going to open first. Triple decker, multi-level driving range like Baton Rouge. Lafayette's getting a Top Golf. Whichever one opens first, 504 FORE, 504 Golf or Top Golf. Will it be the city's first multi-level driving range? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse can be yours. Had two questions, might be the same answer, might not. One of them was answered. Tallest building in the city, One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney building, 596 feet, I believe, almost 600 feet. Tallest building in the city. Building with the most floors, most stories. Might be One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney. Might be something else. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. If you got answers, I got 50 big bucks for you at the city's premier day spa experience, the Woodhouse Day Spa. 766-9480 is how you participate. 766-9480, Rouse's Markets phone lines. Republicans on the Hill. They're 0 for 3 now with the speaker. Tom Emmers nominated. Tom Emmers drops out. Saints wide receiver Chris Olave arrested, reckless operation, wasn't drunk, wasn't intoxicated, just doing double the speed limit on Joe Yenny Boulevard, arrested in Kenner for reckless operation, 70 and a 35. 70 and a 35. He told the Kenner cop, I play for the Saints. The Kenner cop replied, and? Like, what's that mean? Brilliant. You got to like that. I guess you can't fault Olave for trying, I guess. I don't know. Multiple crashes on I-55 yesterday. 7 died. 7 died. Keep those families and friends of those 7 in your thoughts and prayers. More than 25 injured. 25 different crashes in 3 different spots, including 3 18-wheelers, 2 that caught on fire. 158 total vehicles involved. 158. As I said yesterday, just clearing off the I-10 is going to take I-55, is going to take a couple of days. And that appears to be true. Then you've got to, literally sweep it clean. You can't have any shards of metal, debris on the road when you open it up to traffic. And then the roadway for like 3 or 4 panels just burned up, like charred on the top. Needs to be, literally like power washed back to clean. And then most importantly, engineers need to come in and test the concrete, the rebar, the I-beams. Did the heat damage them? Has the integrity of the bridge, the integrity of the concrete, has it been compromised? If so, that bridge is going to have to be shut down. Repairs are going to have to be made. How extensive is it? Do you replace panels? Do you do like a cavity or skin cancer where you remove the problem part and then cut even beyond it, clear the margins where you're getting, good concrete rebar and I-beam to hook into? I don't know those details, but pretty much yesterday, those were easy kind of conclusions to come to. I don't see how they were going to clear the interstate. It's not like, hey, get some tow trucks and clear it. It's cranes and heavy equipment picking up, rusted out pieces of metal that used to be a vehicle and stacking them on top of other rusted out pieces of metal that used to be a vehicle on like a flatbed 18-wheeler, strapping them down and hauling them to the junkyard. And then sweeping it clean and power washing it and getting structural engineers to test the integrity of the bridge again. Then you can reopen it. And if the integrity is not right and you got to have construction, could be months. But right now, that north-south corridor is open, not all on I-55. If you're going I-10 to I-55 and then you're going I-55 north, you can do that. It's open to the Rudock exit. Then you're forced to exit at Rudock. You go down to ground level US 51 going north to Ponchatoula, where you get back on I-55. And the opposite's true. If you're coming from Ponchatoula south on I-55, you immediately exit before the water onto ground level US 51 south to Rudock, where you enter I-55 at Rudock and continue south. I-55 is open from I-10 to Rudock. I-55 is open from Laplace to Rudock. I-55 is closed from Rudock to Ponchatoula. But US 51 is open the whole way, and US 51 will take you from Rudock to Ponchatoula or Ponchatoula to Rudock. When that stretch between Rudock and Ponchatoula on I-55 opens is anyone's guess. I would say best case scenario, cleaning off all the vehicles, cleaning the roads from all the shards of metal, debris, power washing the charred road back to clean concrete, restriping it, all of that. I mean, best case scenario, structural engineers check it out. Oh, it's perfect. No damage, thank goodness. Open the road. Best case scenario. I mean, I was saying Thursday yesterday. I don't know how you can get all that done by Thursday. Best case scenario, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Structural problem, which I don't know, 50-50 chance or worse. There's structural engineering problems, concrete, the roadway, the bridging, compromise. Could be a few months of detours. Could be a few months. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now? Major League Baseball playoff action. Last night, Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football. College football. LSU Tulane on Saturday. Saints on Sunday. NFL action. Katie's has your flat screens, your big screen TVs, all your favorite sports action on the flat screens at Katie's. And unlike some sports bar that has lousy food, for crying out loud, what's the deal with that? Katie's is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant that just happens to have a bunch of flat screen TVs with your local sports action, including tomorrow night, the Pelicans tipping off their season. Pelicans at Katie's. No, it just happens to have a sports bar-like atmosphere because of the TVs. Yeah, for all your sports action. Pels tomorrow night. LSU Tulane on Saturday. Saints on Sunday. Katie's in Mid-City. NFL, college football, NBA. Katie's in Mid-City. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks for checking us out on the radio. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Saying goodbye to our television audience. See you tomorrow at 4. Yeah, 4 to 5:30 on television. Cox Channel 4 all over Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333 all over Louisiana. CareTalks.com. Live streaming via our website. You can email us, Corey at CareTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare. And yeah, we're on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our fledgling YouTube channel. We'd like to get that bad boy jump started. Click to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. We're on YouTube. Yeah, you right. Oliver Thomas joined us in the 4 o'clock hour for about 20 minutes. Last week, when the council was meeting late last week to confirm Ann Kirkpatrick, Oliver Thomas and Council President JP Morrell kind of went at it verbally. We talked to Oliver Thomas about that. Voting against Ann Kirkpatrick, voting against the Pontalba. I said voting against Freddie King. He corrected me. No, I'm voting against Freddie King. Voting against Gregory Joseph. He corrected me and said, no, I did not. You had one Freddie King vote, but then he corrected it. You've had Eugene Green vote against kind of a couple of things that were sort of contrary, and Oliver Thomas. But Oliver made a good point. It's like everybody's not supposed to assimilate and vote the same way. But I think especially the voting against the Pontalba, when Oliver Thomas runs for mayor in a few years, there's going to be an opponent who's going to bring up that Pontalba thing. Those kind of votes are remembered. I was talking earlier to Jason, our producer, who, by the way, is fielding your phone calls via the Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Which downtown building has the most stories, most floors? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Triple-decker driving ranges, plural, coming to New Orleans. Top Golf, 504 Golf. One of them will be open before the other. One will be first. Is that the first multi-level driving range in New Orleans? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Hey, by the way, I mentioned Top Golf, 504 Golf. I like golf. Golf sort of, I'm not going to say it's the secondary type thing, but it's a co-primary thing. These are sports bar, restaurant, bar type venues. 3 floors, 3 bars, 3 restaurants. On each level, there's a bar and a restaurant. And there happens to be kind of arcade games and a driving range. Someone like me that'll just hit golf balls. They're golf balls that have like a GPS. They're games where it's easier for people that don't play golf to participate, all kind of stuff. So it's not like pure golf. Anyway, just an FYI. Jason, fielding your phone calls, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You got answers to any of those trivia questions. I got 50 big bucks for you good at the Woodhouse. Jason and I were talking about traffic lights because I brought up the 504 driving range, which is going to be at the old Times Picayune site right there on the Pontchartrain Expressway at Broad Street. construction had already started on a place called Drive Shack. They have abandoned that Top Golf type model. They abandoned that driving range. These local guys, thank goodness, that have some geek, that have some backing, some money, 504 Golf, they're taking over that site. Old Times Picayune building, Broad at Earhart, essentially, Broad at Pontchartrain Expressway. And then it made me think about that stoplight, that terrible stoplight that 110% is not needed at all. Coming off of the Broad Earhart exit ramp, at the bottom of the ramp on Earhart, there's a traffic light. There's a traffic light to the left of that on Earhart. And then a block later by Bridge House and the Burlington Coat Factory or whatever, and the roadway, by the way, that would be the entrance to the 504 Golf. There's a stoplight there. Just totally unnecessary, not needed. There was never, ever stoplights there. Don't know why there are stoplights there now. Traffic signals, traffic lights, not needed. Earhart at Broad, the down ramp by Bridge House, all of that on Earhart, ridiculous, not needed. Speaking of Earhart, I would say Earhart at Broadway by the little concrete factory there in between Doc Francis Parkway and Carrollton. Broadway at Earhart, Earhart at Pine. Those two lights a block apart. Neither one of those is needed. There's not enough traffic going down Broadway or Pine at Earhart for there to be traffic lights there. Boy, that's like 4 traffic lights. That's a lot of money. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars. That could be like north of $1 million of real money to put in traffic lights that aren't needed. Earhart at Broad at the down ramp. Earhart by Bridge House. Earhart at Broadway, Earhart at Pine. Just not needed. Hey, you Metairie folks, you don't get off so easy. Lake Avenue at Old Hammond Highway. WTF. Lake Avenue at Old Hammond Highway in Bucktown. Why is that traffic light there? And then if you head down Lake Avenue, leaving Bucktown, you get to Lake at West Esplanade. There's a traffic light there. 110%, neither one of those needed. There's no trouble people getting through there. There's no trouble with accidents. Just crazy and illogical. Me no comprende. Anyway, are there some other traffic signals, traffic lights not needed in Metro New Orleans? Like those few I mentioned on Earhart, the couple I mentioned on Lake Avenue in Metairie? Just crazy. No, nothing worse than traffic lights that aren't needed or traffic lights that are just too long in the wrong direction. Like Carrollton Avenue has a bunch of them. Carrollton at Banks by Jesuit. Carrollton at Bienville. Way too much time for Banks and Bienville. Those streets have way too much green light time, and Carrollton has too much red light time. It should be like I'm just making up the time. It's about 30 seconds green on Carrollton. Then it's like 20 seconds green on Banks or Bienville. If it's 30 seconds on Carrollton, 35 seconds on Carrollton, Banks and Bienville should be like 8 or 10 seconds. Literally, like less than half. That Walmsley at Carrollton traffic light is a nightmare too. With the arrow, if you're going, what would that be, southbound and you catch Walmsley, it's just a huge wait. Earhart and Carrollton, that seems like a decent light. But boy, Carrollton has a bunch of lights that, not that they're not needed. The other street has like 5% of the traffic of Carrollton. And instead of 5 or 10% of the light time duration, it's much, much longer. Anyway, I would bring up synchronization, but I'm not drunk. I'm sober as can be. I'm drinking water. Light synchronization in Orleans or Jefferson. That first trio of traffic lights you hit coming on to veterans from Orleans Parish, a lot of the time those are not synchronized for no reason. I don't get it. Boy, some streets are just very difficult to drive down. Carrollton's kind of one of them. I'll tell you what, going off Claiborne onto Napoleon, If you time that turn, like almost when the green light on Claiborne at Napoleon's about to turn red, you turn on to Napoleon, you can almost make it almost to the river if you time it right. And people are cooperating. I often drive down there to hit the Rouses at Tchoupitoulas and Napoleon. Synchronized lights are nice. Hey, New Orleans, you're running air conditioning sometimes. Hey, New Orleans, you're running heat now sometimes. Sometimes you're not running the system at all. If your AC or heat is making a funny noise or worse, not working at all, don't stress out. Get the problem solved quickly. You didn't ask for it, but it happened. The goal is to get it solved quickly. De-stress. River City's total maintenance is there. You need air conditioning or heat help? River City's total maintenance, honest air conditioning and heating experts that realize you're stressed out, so they come immediately. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. 841-3300 is how you dial them up. 841-3300. Or the easiest thing to remember, if you need heat or air conditioning help, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to remember. If you have heating or air conditioning needs, NOLAAC.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should have to shop all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Finds You.
Baking company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Did you have any problem with Angel Reese? There was a photo of her coming off the bus, holding the phone with the...
And that was a bunch of bull. That was Photoshop, that young lady. That's social media for you. How dare somebody do that?
No, I was wondering if it was Photoshopped or if it was real.
You just got the real answer from somebody who was there.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. GoAC.com, your cool spots.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. More great weather. Last night I sat outside at Fausto's because the weather was right. It was great. You can dine outside tonight at your favorite place that has outdoor seating. Nighttime, I can't wait to go walk Tolly. Do it before the sun drops out the sky. That's the only depressing thing. Boy, the sun's dropping out the sky like 6:45 right now. Really, really early, which means it's going to drop out of the sky. It's really earlier than that. It's like 6:30. It's quick. And that daylight savings gimmick's coming in the next few weeks. So we're going to be 5:15 dark, 5:20. It's kind of a bummer. I don't know why we do that. I'd rather the extra hour in the afternoon than getting it in the morning. I know you wake up if it's 6:30, it's still dark outside. I get it. I'd rather it be dark at 6:30 in the morning than at 5:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know why we keep doing the daylight savings time gimmick. We don't know. The farmers need the light to, there's no, it's like done in the 20s. There's states that ignore it. Arizona, I think a few others have picked up on it where they just ignore that. They don't shift. I get it. Republicans on the Hill. I don't get this. They're 0 for 3 now. Tom Emmers nominated. A few hours later, why get nominated if you know you're not going to get the votes? He drops out a few hours later. 0 for 3 on this. Saints wide receiver Chris Olave arrested, reckless operation in Kenner. Kind of the discretion of the policeman, I would think. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe 70 and a 35, you have to arrest them. Have to arrest them for reckless operation. Have to arrest them because they could be a danger to other drivers, could kill someone. It was 70 in a 35 on Joe Yenny Boulevard. Last minute, cuffed up. I'm going to jail. Yeah, saw my bad dog. That's what he called the cop, a dog. That cop wasn't offended by that, but he said, I play for the Saints. The cop's like, and Olave didn't say anything like, dude, I'm high profile. I should have been smarter. I made a mistake. Could you cut me any slack and not arrest me? But didn't say any of that at all. Anyway, that would have been my response to and, I guess. Boy, multiple crashes on I-55. They're figuring it all out. Yesterday morning's crash in the fog and smoke from the marsh fires. 7 people died yesterday morning in those crashes. 7. More than 25 injured. 25 different crashes in 3 different spots, including 3 18-wheelers being involved. 2 of them fully engulfed in flames. 158 vehicles involved. I-55 remains shut down between Ruddock and Ponchatoula. So you can take I-10 to I-55 right now, go north on I-55. It is seamless like it's always been. But then you are forced to exit at Ruddock, and then you take ground level US 51 to Ponchatoula. If you're coming from Ponchatoula, before you get on the I-55 above the water, you will exit I-55, directed to US 51 south to Ruddock, and then you will enter the I-55 entrance ramp on the I-55. So I-55 between Ruddock and Laplace, Ruddock and I-10. I-55 is fully open in both directions. I-55 between Ruddock and Ponchatoula, closed in both directions. You have to exit or enter and take US 51 in between Ponchatoula and Ruddock. And when I-55 reopens, it is clearing all the vehicles, all the burned out, hunks of metal, clearing the roadway of any debris, shards of metal, plastic, glass, totally clear, power washing the roadway that is burned up black, and then structural engineers coming in and making sure the roadway is safe. I don't see how it can be with all that heat, but I'm not a structural engineer. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's built differently. I just think about that fire, the cars that were at the foot of the Pearl River Bridge, I-10, the Mississippi side, going towards Louisiana, right at the beginning of the bridge. Car accident, flamed up vehicle, burned the concrete and the rail and compromised the concrete, the rebar, the steel I-beam construction. They had to jackhammer all that concrete away, go beyond the messed up area, tap into some strong, solid area and redo it. That was a small little spot. Mississippi got it done in about 3 weeks. This is much bigger, above ground, elevated, huge sections of the I-55 that were on fire, the vehicles on top of the I-55 on fire. Now, I don't know if the integrity of the concrete, the rebar, the steel I-beams was compromised, but they'll find that out. So I'm just totally guessing like I was yesterday, which I was right on a bunch of those guesses, assumptions based off of facts we knew and just some trying to make it logical conclusions. I just don't see how they can clear this off really quickly, like in the next day or two. Yesterday, I was saying like Thursday at the quickest I-55 can reopen. I think it's going to be longer than that. And that's without the structure being compromised. Just clearing it off, restriping it, reopening it. That's days away, best case scenario, I would say. Days away, best case scenario. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940, a New Orleans institution. Walk-up locations, old school there. Today's preferred method of dry cleaning, Young's free pickup and delivery, home or office, East Bank or West Bank. And the future of dry cleaning, Young's Express, their manless locker locations. To find out if a Young's Express manless locker location's near you, to get on their absolutely free pickup and delivery list, East Bank, West Bank, home or office, just go online, youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans, Leidenheimer French bread.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Junket Cantrell, Mayor, City of New Orleans. We've decided to hold a contest where you can decide where I go next on my taxpayer finance vacation. I was thinking about Acapulco, but that's in the Western Hemisphere, and we can do a lot better than that. Think Europe, Asia, maybe even the Middle East. You know, if it's safe. You don't want old Junket Cantrell getting hurt. It's all about my vacation, having fun and spending the city's money on my entertainment. I'll be flying first class, of course, and I'll be bringing some administrative flunkies with me. It should only cost the city around $30,000, maybe $40,000. Help me pick my next city finance vacation. Go online, Cantrell Junket at cityofno.gov. And have a fleeced day.
Always fun picking Junket Cantrell's next trip. An appropriate nickname, Junket. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Can you believe 158 vehicles were involved in that crash yesterday morning? I say crash. Crashes. 25 different crashes in 3 different spots. 158 vehicles involved. 7 people died. 7 people died. Just tragic. 25 injured. No, just fog combined with marsh fires just made for some terrible conditions. You know, when you're driving on the interstate, stay to the right. Only use the left lane to pass. I was driving on the interstate today, and I'm talking outside of Orleans to Jefferson, like I-310. heading in that direction. Folks just driving in the left lane, mindless, clueless. No, stay out of that lane. Don't drive with your hazards on with the fog. What's that, Blue Boy? Keep the thoughts and prayers, the 7 people that passed away, their friends and family. You're right, Blue Boy, you're right. See you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock, wide open Wednesday.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.